Everybody. So,
We are live.
yay,
Woohoo! Welcome, welcome, welcome,
yay,
everybody.
yay.
All right, we are celebrating the book launch, the H2H Human Connection Done Right. Look at that. That is fabulous. I love it. I love it. David, that's awesome. David's still pumped from the music.
I'm
Dion,
still opening
please,
it.
please take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dion Major, founder of Revenue by Design and creator of Sales with Soul and Lead with Soul methodology, way of being. And in March of 2025, myself, along with Christine and 17 other authors and speakers and experts in their own space, hosted the virtual summit, H2H, Human Connections Done Right. Because in the world we live in nowadays, while tech is the runaway favorite horse and all that jazz, relationships still matter. And man, I wish I could say that I got it all right all the time, and I certainly don't. I think I screw up stuff at least on the regular daily basis. So this book and these talks from all of us here are written for all of us simply trying to be a better human that believe in progress over perfection, that believe in getting up and trying again at the end of the day, whatever form that takes, with a healthy dose of grace and forgiveness along the way. So I'm really excited. I was so pleased to partner with Christine and just honored to have the authors that are here and not here, unfortunately, join us in this amazing endeavor. So thank you for joining us. We're going to give you a brief overview of all the most of the chapters for the authors that are here. And again, thank you everybody for joining me on this journey. It is really fantastic.
Thank you for leading it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Trying.
Doing it.
So thank you everybody for joining. Maria, we're going to start with you because I know you've got to bow out. So Christine is going to do us an immense favor and kind of share our talk title and our chapter. And if you have just a few words to share with everybody about what you were sharing on your talk, this will definitely help people flip through it. I know a lot of the books I read multiple times because it just whatever's in there resonates with whatever I'm going through differently, right? So, Christine, if you could kind of give us a quick foray about what
Yep.
Maria shared with us. And Maria,
Maria's talk was how to build a repeatable revenue architecture. Maria?
Yeah, I dove deep into a revenue architecture, which is, I'll just give you the skinny down version. It's the marrying of marketing, sales, and customer success. It's, just to give a few nuggets, it's the SaaS and technology organization or any organization that's focused on referral and expansion as much as they are in acquisition. It's the outgrowth, the growth of all costs that is dead, and now it's now the pattern in go-to-market strategy is now to build a repeatable and sustainable revenue architecture, and that's how you're going to build valuation and value creation and get your company sold. So
love
it's a
it.
pleasure to be a part of it. So thank you, Dion, and thank you, Christine, for leading the charge.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Such a good chapter, and definitely things to think through. I mean, how many times have we been in an organization where the silos are very, very well established? So wonderful. Thanks, Maria. Appreciate it.
Who's next?
Matt, you are next if I'm going left to right, because that's how we learn to read here. And
So Matt Schwab is transforming GTM tech for growth.
That's right. And for my chapter, we talk a lot about people, process, and tech. And
yes,
with AI being where it is today and the importance of looking at your go-to-market tech stack for AI to be successful, you have to have clean data. So we talk about how data flows through your tech stack, how you can improve data hygiene, how you can measure things more appropriately in your go-to-market tech stack, how to take a look at your integrations, how to audit it, how to integrate key systems. And we really spend some time in the chapter talking about how to break down the silos between marketing, sales, and customer success. So there's actionable insights in the chapter that can really help you and your organization immediately.
I love that, Matt. And you and I have known each other and worked together for a long time, and everything you're talking about is so spot on. And I love the fact that you and all of us really put together the how that goes in there, because I think everybody gets the what. What stops us is that human connection at the end of the day. So, and the only time the if we build it, they will come works is in the movies. And even then, it's still a struggle, but it's only a 2-hour struggle, whereas we have a lifelong journey ahead of us. So thank you for contributing to our talk and our summit and our book. And I just think the world of you, and I know that's a great chapter. So thank you.
Thank you, Dion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's
Thanks.
next? Because your lineup is different than my lineup.
Oh, sorry, I'm going across the top of the screen. So no, thank you. So Petros, please tell us about you.
Petros, your company's
Sure.
greatest asset. It's people.
It is. So I spoke about this issue from the HR perspective because that's my background is human resources, and there is that part of our title, human resources, and the human part is so important. Honestly, for my perspective, the connection people make with their people, their own people, their employees, is so vital to a business's success that I had to touch upon it in my section, discussing in depth what that means, how that translates, how you could better connect with your employees so that they're able to do more than just work because it's a paycheck, but because it becomes their passion as well. So there's a lot of parts in my section, but that's the overall gist of it.
Yep. Petros, I love that you talk about what I hear is being purpose driven and just connecting with that humanity that we have, because it's not about speeds and feeds. It's about the person that goes home to their family
Sure,
at the end of the
exactly.
day. So I love that. I'm so happy you're here and we're connected. So thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
Yeah, David Hirschfeld.
David's talk was harnessing AI to create human-first software.
Yeah, and thank you, Dion and Christine. It was really fun to speak at the event, and I just really appreciate that you assembling this book, which I think is hugely valuable to a lot of people that are trying to figure out, especially in today's AI world, the idea of human connection being even more important. I talked about how AI makes technology much more human because now you're talking to technology. It's helping you think through problems. It's helping you access information much faster in a much richer way than in the past. And if you're in an industry where you're worried about AI replacing you, AI is creating all kinds of opportunities.
Yes.
If you just shift your thinking just a little bit, it's actually expanding the workforce because there's so many new things that you can do with AI that you couldn't do before. So and I talked about practical ways for you to get started with AI if you're still a newbie or you're afraid. So I really encourage you to read my chapter just to, if you need to find ways to engage with the AI, make it a part of your life.
Amen to that, David. Let's not be afraid of what's coming at us, because the opportunities most likely in the right hands outweigh the bad. So thank you. And I'm so happy our paths crossed too. And thank you. And most everybody here is part of the Revenue by Design executive groups that we hold, whether in person here in Orange County, California, or virtually. So David, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. David Bush.
Dion, you told me I was going to be the first David. What
I'm
happened?
sorry, I didn't mean to. See what I mean, everybody? Like I screw up
We
human
keep
connection
having
every
this.
day.
We keep having this thing.
David
This is the
Jr.
first
Call me
David.
David Jr.
No.
David Jr.'s talk was 6 questions to create extraordinary conversations.
Yeah, great title. Thanks, Christine. Excited about being a part of this project, and thanks so much for hosting it, Christine, Dion, and making it look so beautiful in the book format, Kim. You're a rock star. We're so thankful that you made us all look so professional, and the content was so rich. My section, ninth chapter, is really focusing in on helping you to learn how to have extraordinary conversations by learning to ask questions skillfully and listen carefully. If you had to guess how much or what percentage of conversations you're talking and how much you're listening, what would you think your percentage is? Would you be 50-50? Would you be 60-40? The sweet spot is inside the chapter. And so if you take a look at it, you can find out a little bit more about how to become more interesting by being more interested in the people that you're talking to and asking questions. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, David. I love it. I love that our paths have crossed through so many mutual connections that we have. And I think for anybody that may not pick up on it, David's background as a coach just comes through, and love all of that. Love the sense of calmness you bring, and just love everything that you do and you bring for us. So thank you.
Who's next?
All right. Who do we have? Darren Lauda.
Darren's chapter, harmonizing go-to-market functions for efficient growth.
And it could have been better titled How to Get Fired. In the context of humanizing tech, I wanted to talk about a real world experience. I wanted to make it very personal. There was a point in time where I helped grow a company from $5 million to $20 million very rapidly. The tech was great, and I lost my job. And I took a moment to be really introspective about what I could have personally done differently to align the team across finance, sales, and marketing to be a better change agent in that growth path. And so I wanted to speak very openly about what I could have done better. I didn't want to point fingers anywhere else. I wanted to learn from me about me, if you will. So I hope you take a second to read the chapter, and I hope it's helpful.
Yeah. Thanks, Darren. I think what you said was so important too, because it's easy and I think it's normal, right? And David Bush, keep me honest here, where when things go wrong, we immediately shift to blame. And I think sometimes we feel guilty about that, but I think it's like we just have to recognize that that's a normal human thing. And what I love about what you're saying is we have the power and the opportunity to rise above that and raise our own self-awareness to say, something is not right here. What do I need to do? Because I control my thoughts, feelings, emotions, and environment.
Yep.
Right. And so I think that is so brilliant. And I think too the pause, the power of the pause to say, oh, hang on, I am actually looking for I'm looking for someone to blame. But oh, yeah.
And I still try to blame somebody every once in a while on this one, but in general,
Totally.
you've learned a lot and wrote about real learning.
Yeah. It's easy to do, right? But it's just like, whew, how do we kind of have a problem to solve and turn our problem into a project at the end of the day? Can work wonders for us, for sure. So thanks for sharing that. Make sure you also watch Darren's talk, everybody's talk on our page on the ICN TV platform, as well as get the book. Kelsey, how are you?
Kelsey's chapter, using AI for better sales documents.
I am doing okay. So I am surviving, but for everyone, I had a little accident, so I'm a little bit down for the count. But my talk was about creating really particularly documents that represent your brand and your story using AI.
Love it.
And the real challenge when AI was really first coming to the fore was that it sounded like a robot wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Now things have changed fast, and it's not as bad as it was, but the concepts still really matter, which is you need to still talk to people to get feedback from customers and what they're really saying, the words that they use to say it, to use those as inputs into your AI tools, and then most definitely reviewing it as a human to make sure it still sounds like a person, and it most especially sounds like you and your brand. So though the tech may change, the tenets remain the same.
Amen to that, Kelsey. And I love that we are friends and colleagues, and because I always learn something from you every single time we talk. It's just one of those things where I'm like, huh, never thought of it that way before. And I think
Thank
what
you.
you just said is so spot on too, where for those of us learning something new, it's learning something new. Like, let's not recreate what we're doing and make the square wheel try to go faster. Like, let's actually use what we're learning here. And I love the fact that you do that all the time. So, yeah,
I appreciate your friendship as well.
thank you. I appreciate it. Shannon Gregg, PhD, my friend. You are probably one of the only close friends I have that have a PhD, and I always feel like I should call you Dr. Gregg just out of respect for the hard work you did.
So Shannon's chapter was human-centered design for tech user adoption.
Well, Dion, you will be happy to know that when I'm teaching my classes at university, I always reference you because I think 2010 when you and I were having a conversation at AAISP about the difference between B2C and B2B, and you were like, hey, it doesn't matter. It's always a human sitting at both ends. And that's something I have never forgotten. So I was so pleased to see that come all the way full circle with this wonderful group of humans all contributing to this body of work. What a pleasure it is to be here. Thank you for being the catalyst for this.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us.
And
So,
Dion,
yeah.
our chapter is
Yeah.
how to communicate for comprehension.
Yeah, it is certainly not easy. And so in my chapter, I go through the transforming worksheets that I've been using and giving away, and they're available on our website now as well. And because I think when we think about communicating, I think we've all gotten feedback, right? Like, oh, I can't understand you. It's jargon. It's this. We've gotten positive feedback. And then, Darren, what you're saying about leading teams, like everything we're talking about here requires communication. And to communicate effectively is hard. It's just hard at the end of the day. I think we can all probably think of an example. And so I'm a fan of frameworks, and let's all get on the same page as far as vocabulary and what we mean and working definitions. And so that's what that benchmark exercise does for everybody, is level set the playing field so we can communicate for comprehension, and we're not having to fight through or discern definitions in word meetings. We're able to level set and go from there. And it's very helpful to have a working vocabulary and definition for teams to move forward quickly and reduce friction.
Well done. Well done. Well, I've got to tell you that I've had the pleasure of working with Kim Dietrich, our editor, and going through each of your chapters. And of course, I heard you speak your talks during the summit, and going through, I had to go so slow. I'm a thorough reader. I'm not a fast reader. I'm a thorough reader. But going through your chapters, there were so many aspects that I went back over again and again. And I'm so looking forward to having that book in my hands, because I love having, I'm not an online reader. That's not my forte. I love having the book, and I'm a highlighter and I'm a star person, and I'm turning down the pages. This was such a content rich, these talks were so content rich. And this is a book that I truly believe I will be referencing again and again. And people that are out there, it doesn't matter where they are at, what stage they're at in their businesses, in the AI world. This is definitely a book that they can be coming to again and again. I'm really, really honored to have that in our collection. And thank you all for everything you've brought to the table. It's amazing, honestly. So
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you. Lots of deep thinkers here. And
Yes.
thank you, Christine. I appreciate that feedback. And Kim, thank you so much for your editing. We appreciate that. Thank you for making us look good. We appreciate that very much.
Really, it's been my privilege. I mean, I'm the opposite of Christine, that I don't like to read on paper. I work digitally. That's my happy place. And I've done a lot of writing in the tech space. So I found the content matter and just the insights that everybody shared in their talks, that I was able then to work to turn into, the written form to be, not only technically fascinating, but like a really powerful reflection of leadership and real life. So it was my privilege to be part of kind of bringing that to life in a cohesive way in the printed page. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for trusting me with helping to tell your stories.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Wonderful.
But which chapter was your favorite, Kim?
David, it had to be yours. Absolutely.
Which David? Just say it out loud,
Yeah.
Kim.
No favorites, just like my
Oh,
children. No
man.
favorites.
At
The
any
first
given moment,
David or the
though.
second David?
Yeah, David, we'll share the award. Don't let her talk anymore.
All right, I'm good with that.
Oh
I
my
love it.
goodness.
So, okay, true confession time. When I was sharing this out with everybody, I wanted to ask when you were kind of getting into this, everybody, and not everybody all at once, right? But who is brave enough to share literally your initial thoughts of this whole thing? Like, Dion is doing something crazy yet again. What is this 25-minute talk? What is this that she's doing? So tell us a little bit about, because I know I've talked with all of you, and all of you were like, yeah, that was literally the feedback from some of you was like, I don't know how this works. So tell us a little bit about, in a couple minutes, your background here and like the behind the scenes of, what machinations did your brain go through as you were kind of going through this process? Darren, you're muted.
No. Yeah, great question. My first thought was, what the heck is it all about? My second thought is, who the heck's going to read what I might have to say?
Oh,
Right. My third thought was, how do I put it together, and make it meaningful? Um, Oddly, to benefit me to actually document an experience I had and to get me to think through it.
mhm.
Uh, and to really apply it to the humanization component, the theme that we wanted to go through. Um, so yeah, it was kind of this arc from what am I going to say? Who'd possibly want to hear it to what can I say? And how can I make it meaningful for others who take the time to read it? Um, and so it was a really interesting arc. And the journey was fun for me. It was cathartic a little bit. You kind of know my story personally too there. So going through that was really helpful, and I do hope others can benefit from it. Um, and now I've got it on my phone, and pretty soon, like Christine, I'll have it on my wall. So it's pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. Matt Schwab.
Darren, you really nailed it on the head. I think, you took some of the words right out of my mouth when thinking about a chapter and something to speak about and what this book is all about. I was thinking about how I could help other people and how can I give some knowledge out for free that people could benefit from and make real change in their organization with their technology, and help break down some of those silos. Because, when consulting and working in the tech space for as long as I have, you see patterns and you see a lot of the same things at every organization we work with. And a lot of those things come down to communication, amongst the teams. So I'm hoping that by talking about this and ways to make that a little bit easier, that other people's lives could get a little bit easier, a little bit more efficient, and people could be a little bit happier in what they do day to day. So, it was a challenging but really fun experience for me. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Matt. Shannon, how about you?
I was talking to Marilee when this whole concept first came up. Marilee is another one of the authors in this book. And I said to her, if Dion's excited about it, we're automatically excited about it. We don't even need to know more information. But as I saw it start to take shape and, we had all of these pre-calls and we got to meet everybody that was on here, I was like, I see what this is. This is the book I wish I had had at 25 to help me get through my career based on wisdom other people have collected. And so that was the approach that, and I'll speak for Marilee, I think that's the approach we were trying to take on each of our individual chapters to say, if somebody could have given you the guidebook, forget about the academic things, but think about the actual applications. And that's where we were trying to head. So Dion, did we think you were crazy? Yes. Were we in for the ride? You bet we were.
I love that.
Okay. I'm used to it at this point. But thank you. I appreciate it, Shannon. Kelsey, how about you?
When I first met Dion, I heard about her book that she was doing. And then my second time I met Dion was at her book signing party.
Yeah.
And I will never forget meeting her in all her red and having her sign my copy of her book and thinking, how freaking cool is it to have a book? And so when she mentioned that this talk was going to include the book, I was like, ooh, it's my chance to be cool like Dion. And so, I thought the opportunity to talk to groups of people, both live and later on, about things that I'm passionate about, and then have that be preserved for posterity, for many others to read if they are more readers than listeners, was just a great opportunity to help share some of the knowledge I've gained over more years than I would care to mention.
I know that feeling. Seasoned like a fine wine. Thank you, Kelsey. I appreciate it. Petros, how about your thoughts?
So, yeah, thoughts. I think that was part of the problem, was thinking. It's like, so yeah, so when we first started discussing this and decided to go ahead and do this and participate in, the presentations, as well as, be an author in this book. My first thought was like, I have a lot of crazy thoughts. My mind tends to be a little hectic and all over the place. And how do I get this into 25 minutes? And then second thought's like, can I talk for 25 minutes straight? It's like, I wasn't so sure I could do that. So, but we did do it. And I found it interesting because there is some overlap in regard to how we all think about how, humans connect with each other. But regardless of that overlap, there was so many unique perspectives that were being presented that it really made for a robust book. So this is an interesting subject matter, and I think everybody's perspectives on it made it ever that much more interesting. So I was glad to be part of that. So that's my thinking. So even though it was crazy at first, I was like, I'm not sure what I'm doing. If I'm going to try, it came out okay. So that's my thought.
I love it. Thank you, Petros. I hope everybody's picking up on the fact that, we weren't sure to begin with, but we did it anyway, and we came out better for it. Like, I think that's the theme of all of this, right, David Jr.?
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that you were crazy, but when I got the signing bonus, it really kind of changed everything for me, and I really started to feel a little bit more of a connection, heart to heart, with you. But
Yeah.
all jokes aside, yeah, I definitely thought you were crazy, but you were the lunatic we were looking for. And it takes somebody that has got a bigger vision of something to bring that vision down from the heavens and make it real. And it takes a tribe of people, right? I mean, it doesn't just take a great director, it takes a great organizer with Christine, and then taking that into a written format with Kim. It just, it takes all of us, right? Together, everyone achieves more. And it's so cool to see how the puzzle was put together. I mean, I didn't know any of you folks prior to the live event, and now we're authors together in this amazing project. And it's just so great to see the menagerie of the puzzle put together in such a way where people can really learn how to be people and bring it back to the human connection, regardless of how much AI technology. And we talked a lot about that during the sessions. And I was so entertained and educated by all the other speakers, and some of them that are not here today. You're just getting the tip of the iceberg here with this little check-in, but so much great content applicable for so many across a vast audience of individuals. And so if you're looking for your next read and your next watch and your next listen, this is going to be a great addition to your personal and professional growth library.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, David. I like all the jokes. Right? I know, Darren. I was thinking the same thing. He's so good with his words. Man.
I love what Shannon said about wishing this was the book she had when she started out. If you know someone out there who is starting out in business, even less than 5 years, this would be a wonderful, wonderful gift to give them, to support them. It may open up more questions than it actually brings answers, but it will give them, I think, more of a landscape of what is actually out there and how to possibly prepare themselves for next stages of their business journey.
Yeah, I think it's a good refresher too. And I mean, everybody, thumbs up, thumbs down, feels free to come off mute and chime in, right? I think it's easy. I've said it 100 times and you're probably all tired of me saying it, but we would fail kindergarten as adults because we would just make it hard. And it's easy to get jaded and brittle, and it's just not a good way to be, right? So I think it's good to kind of do a fluff and fold, if you will, kind of a refresh at the end of the day. So, in my humble opinion. So,
Yes.
I
yeah.
technically didn't pass kindergarten as a kid, so I would not want to try it again, but that's a different story.
I love it. David Hirschfeld, how about you? When you first kind of heard about this project, your thoughts?
I want to hear more about failing kindergarten.
We're having our happy hour in July instead of
Yeah, right.
Yeah, come on.
My initial thought was I'm in because I'm a joiner. And I know if I join, there's going to be something really good that comes out of it. And then I thought, how the heck do I have time for this? That was the second thought that hit my brain. But then I thought, okay, this is really the right time for this conference. There's more fear around technology today and in the last couple of years than there ever was before. And maybe I can share a little perspective that might reduce that fear a little bit and make it feel a little bit more human and accessible. And so I thought perfect timing for this kind of a topic that weave together with all the other topics made for a real valuable compendium. So that's kind of what I thought. Then, of course, I had to produce the speech and deliver it. And then it was over and I was like, that was fun. It's over. Oh, that's right. There's a book coming out. Cool.
Yeah, always more.
Always more.
Yeah. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Thanks, everybody. So I appreciate that. Any final closing thoughts?
We have one person that joined us. James Elliott. James Elliott.
That is Nathan. Never apologies. I was on calls. I did want to come and drop in and say hi.
And James's chapter, Unshakable, Leading with Resilience Through Adversity, Change, and Challenge.
Yes.
James,
tell us a little bit. Go ahead, Kristen.
Tell us a little bit about your chapter.
Yeah. So it's literally taking, as I allude to metaphor in the chapter, Elon Musk's, love him or hate him, but his rockets, they use liquid methane and liquid oxygen to create the fire. And well, poop creates methane, so that the poop, the crap in life is the metaphor, is really the learning. It's what grounds you. It's what really also allows you to launch your rocket ship, so to speak, and persevere through anything. It is this stuff. And I think going and looking at that and looking at how is this good, how am I better, and by, of course, releasing the traumas and all the stuff from our failures, setbacks, rejections, you name it. It's very, very important. And we can use that stuff, again, as rocket fuel. It literally is rocket fuel. So it's helping people reframe their mindset and really, I suppose, look at that. And instead of distracting themselves from the past failures or pains or the fear or the procrastination or hesitation, to really look at that. And based on my story and the stuff I dealt with as well, how to take all your wounds and make them into your wisdom or your scars or into your strengths or whatever metaphor you want to use. And to make you better, stronger, and of course, more experienced. And you'll develop EQ with that as well. To be humble and also, be able to listen to people and see them and hear them and stand for them. That's why all this stuff happens to us. And it will make you an amazing, amazing leader that people will stick around for during tough times of challenge, change, adversity, and even uncertainty. And it'll make you bulletproof as a leader. So your people become bulletproof and they'll follow you during tough times and give you the best versus leaving or having their heads down or half distracted.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
We also have Tim Beck joined us. Yay. And Tim's chapter, A Unified Perspective, Blindness plus Standardization equals Human Inclusion.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was on calls as well, everyone. But yeah, my chapter is really about taking a step back and thinking like blind people. and thinking about what it takes to go through life as a blind person. Because when you start thinking about all the different steps that it takes to do the different activities, we kind of have to start standardizing those different steps, because blind people can't do the same things as seeing eye people. And so if we can actually standardize those different steps, we can create that seamless path to allow you to get from start to finish, kind of like navigating through Google Maps and going from a starting point to an end point, right? Even if you deviate off of the path, you're still going to end up at the end point. And so that's where my whole portion is around doing all of that, and then connecting it with businesses around thinking about it in the revenue life cycle. So, but that's what my portion was all about it. And I really enjoyed partnering up with this whole group, because I think all of us are bringing great ideas together to help people remember what it's like from the past of building these different connections, and then ultimately bringing all these great ideas together so we can harmonize everything and keep moving forward. So, you know, Dion, everybody, great job, obviously, with this book.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, why don't we give everybody one last look at what this beautiful cover looks like? Everybody hold up your phones or your iPads where you have your this H2H on, if you can find it again. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. It's
Simple
a beautiful
and elegant. Love it.
I love the color of it. It's definitely going to jump out at people for sure. For sure. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Let's keep telling everybody about the special today. You can grab an ebook copy for only $2.99. Get it today. It's one day only. And let's bring this out to more and more people, because your chapters were absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dion.
Thank you, everybody. Woo!
Thank you. Woo! Glad to be here.
Bye.